We are Satanists, and we do represent the very things that the average mind would consider dangerous, or would consider evil or frightening.
People got into vampires from Twilight, and, you know, I don't think the world will ever be the same.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Luciferian, they believe that Jesus Christ is the God of evil. Like we would feel about the devil, they feel about Jesus. And Lucifer, they feel towards him like we'd feel about Jesus. That's what they teach. Jesus Christ, the God of brutality and sin and evil, and Lucifer, the God of love, beauty, and peace, and the true God.
Women, except in the higher councils, are the leaders. The high priest is in the coven, but he's only the enforcer. The high priestess is the pastor. To be a member of their staff, actors and actresses, you must bear the scar of initiation. Must be an initiated witch. A witch's teach of the Christian Bible is an absolute lie, created by the God of evil named Jesus.
To protest someone's day, I find to be without taste.
The Bible also prevents us from eating lobster. Hello? I mean, the Bible has a lot of stuff that we don't go for.
You know what? It's too restrictive.
Because when you read the Bible, there's a lot of stuff you shouldn't be doing. You know,
you're supposed to get stoned if you sleep with other men.
I do, but...
She made nearly 50 film and television appearances before successfully completing her university studies, graduating from Yale with a BA in literature.
What made you choose Yale?
I knew I wanted to do literature, and that was really one of the best places to be.
You've said as I became less and less afraid of new experiences, my personality changed at Yale.
Yeah.
How did it change?
Yale University is 300 years old this year, and were you to visit its campus, you would see that it still has exotic clubhouses, which look like tombs where Yale's legendary secret societies meet. Their prestige and importance have largely evaporated, but the rituals are still a secret.
And I love the architecture.
What is your major?
I guess, am I allowed to say, it'll probably change 5 times for next year. They always do. So far it's literature. I have established myself at Yale. I don't need to prove to them that I'm normal, because I think people know that I'm normal. And I think that the greatest thing about Yale is that the people are intelligent enough and are respectful enough to me.
When they tell the young girls getting into witchcraft that homosexuality has nothing to do with witchcraft. In order to become a high priest, the girl must be bisexual. She must perform a bisexual act. So see, every level you go to, they tell you a different story. And they tell you that people below aren't ready to receive it yet. And so every step you go up the ladder, everything you've been told before is a lie, and all of a sudden you learn new truth.
When we were young, you know, there were lots of kind of big secret lesbian parties, Nobody was out, right? So it would be like Melissa Etheridge would throw a party, and KD would be there, and I would be there, and Ellen would be there.
And Jodie Foster, a big supporter of the Trevor Project, told Extra we could use more people like Ellen.
I think Ellen DeGeneres has been such a great role model for so many people.
Does she still have treats in her pants?
I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does.
Yeah. That's how I am when I go home every night, like Nell.
Yeah. Little Tay in the way?
Yeah. I actually did.
We hear that. I heard that.
Did you see that I did that on the show?
Did. No, I live not too far from you, so yeah. Occasionally I walk by and I'm like, oh, that's just not...
But you know who would sometimes be there was Sarah Gilbert. And I was totally flipped out because she was like 19 at the time.
Right.
And I would say to Ellen, it's illegal, get her out of here. Right. Not that there was like naked women and sex toys everywhere.
See, the lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
Wait, I'm wearing my Lucifer ring. Watch out.
Okay. Lucifer ring? What is that and why? Who is Lucifer?
You're not on television or in the movies because you're good. You're there because you paid a price. You must bear the scar of initiation. Must be an initiated witch.
Who is Lucifer?
I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, hey, hey, hey!
The higher levels are Luciferians, which believe in one God and the minor gods being in the Rothschilds.
They're not just the richest family in the world, they are God in human bodies. More or less the counterfeit of what Jesus Christ was when he was on the earth. They're the sons and daughters of Lucifer in human body.
My experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards a homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, well, we couldn't resist. Here's ABC's Dan Harris.
The videotape provides a grainy glimpse into what appear to be the initiation rituals of a secret society that's been around since 1832, whose members have gone on to be leaders of Wall Street and the White House, the Senate and the Supreme Court. Initiates, known as neophytes, being forced to kiss a skull, then members performing a mock killing. An extremely rare view into the secret society that groomed the American ruling class for generations.
The things that always puzzled me was if we were worshiping a God of love, peace, and joy, why were we killing somebody?
A little girl fantasy that someday something will happen and a magic spell will come over them and suddenly they'll turn into Cinderella. And when that happens, suddenly everybody will appreciate them and everybody will think that they're the most beautiful and most sought-after person on earth.
Your warfare is not physical, it's spiritual.
When you take something that belongs to the devil into your possession, you're asking for trouble. Certain objects are inspired by the spirit of Satan, by demonic influence.
If you're going to live in his territory, he's going to live in yours.
The teacher-disciple relationship is a sacred trust, a deep commitment. I have a power. You come to me hoping that somehow, some way, I will transfer that power to you. Sounds mysterious. It is, partly. The other part is pure work, hard work. I expect every muscle in your body, every thought in your head to be fixed unswervingly on the work. Unswervingly. You may not realize this, but from this moment on, your whole life will have changed. Wait till you get a taste of it. It is better than anything.
And the Oscar goes to Jodie Foster, The Silence of the Lambs.
This has been such an incredible year, and I'd like to dedicate this award to all of the women who came before me who never had the chances that I've had, and the survivors and the pioneers and the outcasts, and my blood, my tradition.
We are what has descended from people who were called werewolves, vampires, witches, and we are Satanists.
They brainwash you from very early childhood that the Christian is the most evil being or creature in the universe. That he wants nothing more than to take the everyday witch out and shoot them, burn them, hang them, whatever he can do, and that they are the most hateful beings that ever existed, on the same level as maybe Adolf Hitler. So this is what I was raised up to believe.
All initiates of the satanic doctrine do all things backwards.
I'd like to thank my family and my family of friends, the trusted ones, the circle.
The knowledge of the occult is spreading because people think that with it, they are more special than the person next to them. And that's why they become involved. Initiation of witchcraft blood sacrifice called the Rite of the Warrior on the Block.
The power of secrecy, there was a knife pointed at them when they were led by the summoner to the challenger to a circle with a star, 5 points in it, to be initiated. They are blindfolded, they are bound, and they're being reborn. We receive a new name through sprinkle baptism, a completely new name when we're initiated into witchcraft. We drop our robes so that we're new. When we walk in the circle, we'll re-robe because we're born again.
You've said this, I became less and less afraid of new experiences. My personality changed at Yale.
Yeah. By looking at these crises head on, that you were able to evolve and to change into the person you're going to be, not just the person you were. Looking forward and saying, I am not that woman, I am not that man, I am now this new person that's evolved through change.
She won an Oscar for Best Actress in 1988 for playing a rape victim in The Accused.
The Accused hinges on the authenticity and absolute horror of the rape scene. This is what Jonathan Kaplan has said about Jodie in that scene. If she wasn't penetrated, he said, but the sequence was 90% real. She had to do it over and over and over again. How do you recall that experience?
The actual rape scene, you know, a lot of it I didn't remember. I blacked out.
Most of all, I'd like to thank my mother, Brandy, my friend, the person who has loved me so much and so well that she taught me in inimitable little man Tate fashion to fly away. Thank you.
I would go from one part of the scene to the next part of the scene, and I didn't remember. I remember cut and I remember action, but I wouldn't remember anything in between.
See, the lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
When you get up into a higher level, you find out that the power rests with blood sacrifice. You become what is called a human chalice. In other words, you are proving to Satan through the blood and the death of this person that you are sold totally out to him. So see, every level you go to, they tell you a different story. And they tell you that people below aren't ready to receive it yet. And so every step you go up the ladder, everything you've been told before is a lie, and all of a sudden you learn new truth. Witches are taught that hell is a lie. I was saved for hours before I ever knew there was a devil. They don't believe in hell. They believe when they die, they will come back in another life.
I'd like to thank all of the people in this industry who have respected my choices and who have not been afraid of the power and the dignity that entitled me to.
As they do these things, they break down all the barriers holding the devil back. And just literally, they become a human chalice. They fill up with demons.
It is astonishing to find that inside you there is a stranger. This stranger is all you are now. There's no going back. I killed a man tonight.
You have the privilege of creating meaning in your life so that others might also come to enjoy that privilege. Do not waste it trying to become someone you're not. Use it to become who you are already. Class of 2006, I'll leave you with a quote you should all know by now. Feel free to chime in. I'll say it twice. It's by Eminem.
Rock musicians get their music from spirit guides, which are demons.
Need I remind you?
It's by Eminem.
The devil worshiping horse and sex, human sacrifices, cannibalism, candles and exorcism, animals having sex with them, camels, mammals and rabbits. Human sacrifices, cannibalism, candles and exorcism.
And this time of year, or summertime, the sun never goes down. Is that how it works?
It's daylight 24/7.
Yeah. And what does that do to you? What does it do to your clock?
It probably turns you into a cannibal. I have no idea.
Into a cannibal?
That's just the thing that popped into my head.
Wow. Do you have any research to back this up?
Human sacrifices, cannibalism, candles and exorcism. Human sacrifices, cannibalism, cannibalism.
Probably turns you into a cannibal. I have no idea.
Into a cannibal.
The devil always thinks on himself.
I'd like to thank all of the people in this industry who have respected my choices and who have not been afraid of the power and the dignity that entitled me to.